Jeremy Corbyn's made an interesting video, and in it he's talked about COVID passports and about the 65,000 NHS staff who are currently unvaccinated who are being forced to have the vaccines. They're going to have to do so. They're going to have to start those vaccines now if they're going to complete the 2 vaccines before April, to allow for the time between vaccine 1 and vaccine 2, and then presumably the booster. I think I think Jeremy Corbyn is actually right in this. I think he's absolutely right that now is not the time to be forcing NHS staff to make a choice between working for the NHS, working for our future, or being sacked, having a vaccine, or being sacked. It just seems wrong. If there was a time for that choice, that time probably was at the beginning of the pandemic. It certainly isn't now. And, I don't see how, as he points out, how a prime minister, a conservative prime minister who claims to be a libertarian, can possibly have presided over so many draconian laws. I just don't see how it's possible. For a short period of time, of course. Sometimes we need stricter rules, but they last for a short period of time. And Boris should know this. Boris is a classicist. He knows about these things. This was already anticipated in the Roman Republic, that every so often, in a period of crisis, it should be permissible to have very strict rules and strict government to get through the crisis, but that it had a limited time. Now, I think Jeremy Corbyn is absolutely right. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. But I think Corbyn is absolutely right in saying that this is the thin end of the wedge, and this is this paves the way for ID cards and everything else, that we won't be able to do anything without showing our identity. This is not part of our British way of doing stuff. That if we have to vote, we have to show our identity. We shouldn't have to prove our identity. It should be automatic. And, my word is my bond. This has been our tradition, unless something has gone wrong. And as far as I can see, nothing has gone wrong. We've just had a very serious pandemic, and I fear our government, along with many other governments around the world, has seen the extraordinary opportunity of imposing draconian laws because it makes their life easier. But it's not libertarian. And if this goes ahead, Boris and his friends around the cabinet table can never again claim to be libertarians. I don't think they can necessarily claim to be conservatives in the old meaning of that word. I also think that a lot of these rules fly in the face of traditional socialism. So on both ends of the political spectrum, I think the idea of identity cards is questionable, but I think the idea of sacking people because they haven't taken up an option which was presented as a choice, this is pernicious. This is pernicious. Sack people by all means if there is no choice in the country. Sack people by all means if everybody in the country is under an obligation to get the vaccine. But if there is still if there is still a choice, if the vaccine is presented as choice to anyone in the country, then it must be presented as choice to the people who work in the NHS. And they are safe. They are taking tests regularly. They are taking tests. They are not unsafe. They are not putting anyone at in harm's way. They're not putting anyone at risk. I think. Do let me know what you think. In my own personal view is that the vaccines are a very good way forward. I'm fully vaccinated and boosted, and I would be very happy to have a fourth vaccination. I think it's a very good way forward. But I also think it was presented as a matter of choice, and that's how it should remain. Look forward to your views. Have fun.